Support comes from UT's Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center, featuring miles of trails and nearly 900 native plant species. More about the official Botanic Garden of Texas at wildflower.org.
People just are hungry for the experience of permaculture design and it felt like a new way, but it's really the old way, like indigenous ways of gardening, right? That, I don't know, so how can we experience that here?
Here is the Whole Life Learning Center, where Caroline Riley and Michael Carberry can bring their young sons to work every day. In 2011, when they opened their school for pre-K to 8th grades, their vision embraced a holistic education and commitment to live in greater harmony with each other and the planet.
Michael and I, we met teaching. We are educators first, and we were also, I guess, courting. So when we first met, we were teaching kiddos. He was teaching all the ages at a smaller, I guess it was holistic school, right? And I was teaching language arts. And the moment we met, we definitely connected around sustainability, gardening, our love for children, and we spent a lot of time really just talking about what our vision was for education in general. And the same year we started the school, I started teaching permaculture design at ACC.
They plan their dream school to grow community and education for all, children and adults. With many hands on deck, including the ACC students, they started the gardens. First was to create berms and swales to manage rainfall. To build the berms, they excavated soil that later became the pond.
Living in Central Texas, we know that we experience extreme drought and then extreme flood. It's all happening at the same time. And our biggest resource that we want to utilize, we want to slow and spread and sink the water back into the soil as much as possible, so that when the rain does come, we take advantage of it fully. We do that here by slowing, spreading, and sinking the water using earthworks and by using rainwater catchment in as many ways as possible. So any impermeable space like the driveway, the roofs, we direct that water to the soil. And the berms and swales here, so a swale is a level ditch essentially, and when you dig the level ditch, you mound up the soil, and that's the berm. And when the groundwater is saturated and the groundwater starts running, it's always an exciting time in Central Texas until all of a sudden we're like, oh, it becomes flood really quickly. So when the groundwater runs, it captures in the swales fill up, the water slowly infiltrates into the berm. When they overflow, they fill up our little pond, and then when the pond fills up, it overflows into the next swale and berm system. And then when that's full, it runs down the road into the infiltration basins that the city's created. We also dig rain gardens as much as we can, which is one of my favorite old design systems. I find them to be aesthetically beautiful. It's a really simple design where you dig out a basin and berm it up, and then we capture rainwater from the roof of the preschool and it goes into the basin, it's piped in, but also our condensation from our air conditioner from this building, it can create up to a gallon of condensation an hour.
A lot of the curriculum is the water that we're swimming in that they're just seeing what happens when we get a lot of rain and how that is managed. And we have our cisterns, catching with 10,000 gallons of rainwater catchment.
I could distill permaculture into one sentence and oversimplify. I would definitely say it's sustainable design, and we could take it further and say regenerative design, the idea of creating a space that over time is more diverse. We're creating healthy, diverse ecosystems that are not just for us, they're for every living creature in the space. And that includes the living soil. We start there. We actually value the soil more than anything. I see all plants as an important piece of the ecosystem, and sometimes we utilize them by recycling them back in to grow soil, and sometimes we utilize them as medicine and as food, and we see how they feed the pollinators and the birds and the deer and all of the creatures. The dandelions come in the winter, who we welcome. We eat their leaves. We make medicine from their whole plant. The bees love their flowers in the winter. The food forest includes, my favorite has got to be the mulberry, because it bears fruit every year, no matter what the situation. Several varieties of pears and plum, Peaches have come and gone. Right now we have 2 peaches with us. We have elderberry that we utilize. We make elderberry syrup from the berries every year that we sell over there through the apothecary. We have loquat, and I must be forgetting. I mean, I'm looking at the roses because I harvest the rose hips and rose petals and utilize those for tea.
When we moved onto this property, there was on this whole huge front yard area, there was a flagpole and a single crepe myrtle tree. Right. And so we moved into a blank slate 9 years ago, and so we've been busy ever since. And the kids along the way, we've had kids from preschool up through 8th grade get to see their trees that they've planted grow much taller than them, and they've been able to harvest the fruits and climb the trees and sit under the shade, and so that's a big part of it.
And they come back to visit. It's one of my favorite things, like these grown students of ours who are now in their 20s, and they come back to visit and they see the space, and I'm like, wow, I remember when that mulberry tree was 2 feet tall, and look at it, now my younger sibling is climbing it.
Along with having a big focus on social and emotional learning, we're focused on place-based learning where the kids are really in tune with their environment. They're learning about their local ecosystem, and they're learning about their impact in ways that they can have a more sustainable or regenerative relationship with their local ecosystem.
For me, a pond was a non-negotiable. Water, the diversity that water brings in, I feel like a small pond can have a huge impact on an ecosystem. Even a bird bath can have a large impact on an ecosystem. And we dreamt of having a pond be the center of our ecology study here, and also be that the place where people can come and have like a sense of wonder, a sense of like a break for the day. We see that our teachers take breaks there.
The dream came true when permaculture students installed pond liner in the hole that was left when they built the berms.
We applied for a grant through the City of Austin Sustainability Sector, the Bright Green Futures Grant, which is for schools and education spaces, to finish the stone around it, put the fountain in. It runs on a photovoltaic, so when the sun is out, the water's flowing, and when on a cloudy day the water runs and flows a little bit less, and the kiddos are able to experience, and adult students too, just that direct relationship between the sun and electricity in that way. The kids play in there. They'll catch tadpoles and fish. We have a catch and release program. It's great.
And they'll also bring their science class up there, or maybe a creative writing class. But they're up there studying aquatic invertebrates and getting them under the microscope. I think first and foremost, the animals here bring us joy, and the kids, if a kid is having a tough morning, a slow start, we might ask if they want to come help feed the chickens or the goats, and boy, their day just takes can shift like that, because there's just something that happens when we get to be with those animals.
I'm really passionate about herbal medicine, along with the fruits and the vegetables. More and more people interested in herbalism keep showing up. And so now the gardens have transitioned to probably like 90% perennial, as well as maybe even more medicinal. The fruits that grow on the trees, we utilize those in syrups and teas. All of the medicinal herbs we incorporate into herbal remedies that we actually make here on site. We have an apothecary in the geodesic dome. So when we harvest things, they go straight back into the dome where we prepare them, and then through what we call mutable earth botanicals, we sell those out into the community through our shops.
Caroline teaches classes through the Austin Permaculture Guild, along with co-director Taylor Monroe. To grow the community mission, Caroline went for another dream in October 2020 and opened a small nursery in Whole Life Side Yard, Cultivate Holistic Supply.
There was a woman who was teaching here who we had to let go because of everything shutting down, and she has a horticulture degree from Texas State, and she had been on my mind of I think I would love to work with her, and so I called her up and said, hey, are you still looking for a job? I'm looking for someone who is willing to create something new. And she was like, yes, this is my dream too. And so Lexi came on, and we just started to transform the space over by the yurt. We focus on organics, we focus on edibles and perennials, native and adapted species. And really, the dream is to help people create their food forest and create their medicine garden, create their home vegetable garden, and really create the garden ecosystem in a way that we've done here. We don't just offer the plants, we also offer a lot of our time.
And that has been, I think, the most important thing is creating the space for people to gather and share and learn and grow.
People come in, sometimes we're like, thank you so much for letting me come visit your garden. I'm like, it's not my garden. It's not my garden, it's our garden. Everyone's welcome here.